Hey, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here with What's She Up To Now, day 580 of discussing the transition from the brick and mortar corporate world of business to the online world of business. The differences, the similarities, what's working, what's not working, the struggles, the trials, the tribulations, what works, what doesn't work. Since it's day 580, obviously I haven't achieved my goal of what I've wanted to achieve as I've made the transition from the offline brick and mortar world to the online world. But today, let's talk about reciprocity. There is a universal law called the law of reciprocity. And what it means is that what we put out into the world, what we give out, will return to us, generally tenfold. I mean, we learned this, it was taught in the Bible, it's taught in every religion, every philosophy, every, psychology class, that we get in return what we put out into the world. And some people know it, some people don't, because, sometimes I know it, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm angry and frustrated and I'm just growling and putting that out into the world and wondering why everybody around me seems owly and growly too. Well, it's because that's how I am, and that's the energy that I'm putting out. And that's what I get back. And then there's other days when I'm in a happy mood and it seems like everybody around me is grumpy, but pretty soon, by me being happy, me being cheerful, me being energetic, me being positive, all of a sudden the people that were a little grumpy are starting to come around. They're starting to smile. They're starting to feel better too. And we forget the impact that we have on other people. That's an example of the law of reciprocity, but that's not a really great example of it. That's just, an example of how we impact and how we affect other people. The law of reciprocity is more about when I give something out into the world, when I give something to someone of value, then that returns to me as well. So if I share my information, if I share my knowledge, there's so much fear around us giving our products away or sharing our information or sharing all the things that we've learned, because if we share everything, then people aren't going to pay us. They're not going to hire us because they're not going to want to work with us. And what I found is just the opposite is true. The more I share my knowledge widely, the more I talk and share and discuss the things that I've learned, the lessons that I've learned, because there have been many, and the more I teach people the things that I know without charging them, the more people that come to me that want to work with me, because they're like, wow, if she's doing all this for no fee, what could she do for me if I was paying her? That seems to be the way it works, the way the world works. But it's sort of counterintuitive. We think that we have to keep everything close to the vest and hide everything, and that comes from all of the years, and some of us decades, of brainwashing to believe that scarcity and lack are the way of the world, where if we just look around us at nature and at all of the abundance around us, we will know that it's been a lie. Abundance, and there's so much of absolutely everything any of us could ever want or imagine. Why would we ever fall into the trap of believing there's not enough, that there's scarce everything, and that we have to fight and claw to get our little piece of the pie? But, and now I'm actually kind of a part of that, marketing and sales and the media and the news and the powers that be want the majority of people to be under control. And the best way to control people is to talk about and act as if there is lack and scarcity in everything. How to get people to buy now? Well, you put a timeline on something. Hey, this is only available for a limited time. There's only, 100 of these. So you either in quantity or time limit the availability of something to increase the sense of urgency so people will buy from you. Now, I get it. We got to do that, or people would get complacent and we don't make decisions. We don't make choices. Making decisions is tough for most people because we're never taught how to make decisions, how to make good decisions quickly and easily. So a lot of people struggle with that. So as marketers and salespeople, we add things like urgency and scarcity. So we're part of the problem with respect to the sense of lack and not enough in the world, and that there's this limited piece of pie that we all have to compete for and fight over. Where the truth is, there really isn't any competition for anything that we really want or desire. There's plenty. There's always a way for us to find and get whatever it is we need and want in our lives. There's no shortage of what we really want, what we really need. Because what we really want and really need always boils down to a feeling, a way we want to feel. And there's infinite ways to find and achieve the way we want to feel, no matter how that is or what that is. I'm getting kind of off track. I wanted to talk about reciprocity and karma, and then giving in order to receive. What we put out in the universe and in the world is what we get back. And the older I get, the more I find this to be true and see examples of this. Now, a lot of times we think that who we give to, those people should pay us back. That is giving with the expectation of receiving something in return. Is that really giving? I guess we could talk about that, and we could chat about, is that really giving, or is that really selfish motives? Because you can give without expecting something in return. And I think those are the types of giving that are paid back with respect to reciprocity, with respect to karma. But the giving, when the only reason I'm giving something to you, the only reason I'm volunteering at this homeless shelter is so that I can get, something in return from the homeless shelter. Now, the truth is, whenever we give, it is for deep down some kind of a selfish reason. And a lot of times it's just because we want to feel good. Now, I think that's a good thing. If we want to do something for other people because it makes us feel good, I think that's okay. If we do something for other people because we expect them to pay us back someday, that is not giving, that's lending. Or, it's kind of like bankers. Yeah, bankers will give you some money, but they expect you to pay it back plus interest. There's a lot of people, I have people like that in my life where they do things for me and they give to me, but they 100% expect me to pay them back or me to do something even better for them in return. That is not giving in the true sense of giving. Giving is without expectation. It's without expecting the person that you give to give the exact same thing or something better back to you. I have some personal stories along those lines. I would love to chat about and have some discussion about that, and about, just the law of reciprocity, the law of, diminishing returns, and then the law of accelerating returns, the thoughts about, what kind of a world we live in and how we see the world, because how we see the world is how we experience the world. And how we experience the world determines the tone and how we feel about our life. If we are looking for things to be good in our life, we'll see those good things. If we're looking for things to be bad, guess what? Every one of us can at any moment find things in our life to feel bad about. Any one of us in any moment can find things in our life to feel good about. And the choice is always ours. We don't always feel that way, especially when there's a lot of crap going down around us. It's like, really? Can anything else happen? And as soon as we say, can anything else possibly happen? Guess what? Another bad thing happens. So I try to catch myself when I'm in one of those downward spirals and say, whoa, stop, hold the phone. You are having a bad day. Take a couple of deep breaths, go for a walk, do something different, but stop what you're doing so that you don't create more of what you don't want. It's been a long time coming. I still fall into, we all do, we fall into these pity party traps. We fall into feeling sorry for ourselves. We fall into wondering, is this ever going to work out for me? Like I said, it's day 580 and I'm still working on the online thing. And some days I wonder, is it worth it? Is this going to work out for me? And as soon as I feel that way, I say, stop, hold the phone. You're going in the right direction, because most of what you're doing feels good. It's when you get frustrated at the computer, or when you get frustrated about something, or when you get a hater that you're like questioning what you're doing. And that's human nature as well. So what am I doing with respect to the online world? Doing the One Funnel Away challenge with ClickFunnels again. I think this is my third or fourth time through it, because I like to take groups through it with me. Day 10 today. I don't remember what it's about. I'm actually pretending that I don't remember any of it and going through it new and fresh every day. Yesterday was about creating an offer over a random thing. And of course, I did it around, and I can't find it right now, which is hilarious because I always have at least 3 around me, a magnifying glass. I used an offer and created an offer around a magnifying glass. Now, what's funny about this is I actually bought another one of these yesterday. I went to Menards, and every time I go to Menards, I pick up another magnifying glass because they have lights, and they are, right now for my vision challenges, they are perfect for me. So I thought it was kind of funny that I did a magnifying glass and then I went to the store and actually bought another one. So I even sold myself on the offer without it being the offer there. But we made an offer around a product. And so we had to pick a random product and make an offer and then pitch it to someone. And I guess I actually pitched it so well, I pitched it to myself and bought another one. Even though I think I've got one for every room, one for my purse, one for my vitamin cupboard, I've got a lot of them. But every time I go, I buy another one because they break, they die, the batteries die, and you know, all you gotta do is put 2 new batteries in it. So probably would be better off just buying a pack of batteries. But I like to have one in every room, one whenever I need it. So I created an offer around this. In addition to that, I am getting ready to launch a couple of new ideas and a couple new projects. Probably just one at a time, because one at a time is all we need. Would love to hear what you think and how you feel about the law of reciprocity and karma and how it's played out in your life. Maybe share a story with me. I'd love to see or hear a story about karma or reciprocity, or when you've given something to someone and how it was paid back. I love this, you know, I don't know what it's called. I know there's a radio station from a long time ago that they have actually a day where people, I think it's Friday or whatever day, but people will drive through something and they will pay for each other's meal. They'll pay for people's meals behind them in the drive-through line. So you go to McDonald's or Hardee's, or are there even Hardee's anymore? Culver's, my granddaughter's favorite. You'll go through a drive-through, and in addition to paying for your own meal, you'll pay for the person behind you. So maybe you leave $20 or something to pay for the next, or $50 or $100, whatever, to pay for the next few people behind you in line, just to bless them and kind of share your abundance and good fortune with them. It's a really cool idea. I've had people buy my coffee at Caribou and at Starbucks. I've had people buy my lunch. And I think it was at, I don't remember where it was. I was taking the kids one time, so it was a long time ago. It was when my kids were little. And so I think it was at McDonald's. Somebody in front of me had paid for our meal, which I thought was so sweet. But there's a lot of ways to give value to people. And it doesn't have to be paying for something. It doesn't have to be money. It can be your time, your energy, your attention. Your attention and being truly interested in other people is one of the best things that you can give. So go ahead, share a story or an example of where that's happened to you, or when you've been the one that's given. And given without it being something that you expected in return, because that's the best way to give, at least in my opinion. Make it an awesome day. I will, of course, be with you tomorrow. Bye.